Stand for the pledge of allegiance. Standing for a moment of silence. Here's Amy. We'll let Amy get in position here.
Sorry.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thanks, everybody. Okay, approval of the agenda. Any additions or?
Under business, I'd just like to have evaluations. I forgot all about setting up a time to do the evaluations for Race and Sue.
And I got this thing here from Special Olympics and a wagon train that will be in Good Thunder Friday, June 28th and the 29th. I'll do a little explaining under new business on that too then. With that being said, anything else? If not, somebody make a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Someone second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I oppose, motion carried. Okay, approval of the minutes from the regular council meeting and the special council meeting. Any additions, corrections to those?
I saw.
Pretty much covered everything that we talked about that night, I believe, or those nights.
I agree.
Somebody want to make a motion to approve the minutes then?
Don't move.
Someone second?
I'll second.
All in favor? I oppose. That's good. Approval of the bills. Questions on bills at all? Got a couple extra that was in separate here tonight.
I don't really have questions on the bills. I do have. Where the account was debited or credited or whatever debited. Just want to ask if we could maybe talk about on the streets and highways, I think it was.
Under the expenditure one?
Yeah, in expenditures, streets and highways, machinery and equipment. There was a debit to that account of 8,150, and I'm just wondering if maybe we could take some of that from future improvements, so that line item doesn't look $6,900.
I was actually gonna bring up some of that too. I highlighted a few of them. We have negative balances, and I thought between now and the next meeting, I'll work with Sue so we can fix those.
Yeah, because we have 60,000 in future improvements.
Right.
Streets and highways, I mean.
Yes.
No use in letting a line item kind of go.
Right. I've got
Yeah, so
1,
if there's a way that
2, 3.
we can, I don't know if we need a motion or anything for.
No, I think that's normal business. That's come up with the auditor before on our budget information. So
There was another one.
When we bought that truck
I think-
and the snowplow,
I think some of it is that, yes.
That 8,000, I think, isn't that the balance of the truck when you went to go get it?
No, the one that Tom said, I think is the snowboard.
Oh, okay.
oh yeah, we have a snowblower too.
February, yeah. Yep.
That's, I mean, that's kind of a future improvement. So, I mean,
Because we're also backwards on engineering fees under sewer.
yeah, that's another one. I thought maybe we should.
Yes.
move
Yeah,
Line items.
I actually went through and, but I'd get with Sue between now and the next meeting so we can start making budget adjustments. We had actually talked about that.
So when are we gonna go bond for this project or are we gonna do it in-house? You know, the sewer that we're repairing?
I would certainly think that is well, let's maybe make that decision when we know what the engineer's estimate is.
Because this would get paid back then through the bond, right?
If we bond.
if you bond, yeah.
I don't think we'll have time to bond.
Just be-
Because I've always gone on the assumption we're gonna pay
In-house.
for it out of, yes.
Me too.
This one, yes.
I mean, if the engineer's estimate comes in so crazy, then we'll have to.
Well, wasn't one of them $180,000 or something?
That was the initial going up through that field.
And I mean. We should be fine.
Yeah.
But, unless, that's why we need to wait until we know what we know.
They did I think they put the project up for bid, so we should know by next.
Yeah, they will be here, but we'll be at the next meeting.
Probably the contract or the bidding guy.
Yeah, they were gonna bring. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the listing closes on April 4th.
Anyway, I just thinking that as long as we can kind of keep in track. Monthly, I mean, it's a little easier than waiting for the end and writing surprise and all that.
Okay. Any other questions then on the bills at all? The one we have here tonight that was laying here loosely, we have a bill, right here, affordable jetting.
Oh,
Do we need to ask the Thunder to catch their grease, Is it plugging, Race, do you know, is it plugging up the line or is it plugging up a manhole or what?
It's plugged up. His line is plugged, the two sections of the sewer, or that donut alley was plugged.
Really?
And I've heard from the affordable jetting guy that they've been there in the past to do that alley before. So I don't
yeah,
know.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how much of a problem it's been before me, but
Wasn't there a plug between the building and the
yeah.
manhole too that day?
Yeah.
So I mean,
Certainly could ask them, and maybe just
the capabilities
make a
of
note,
catching that grease out of the fryer and all that stuff
try to
because.
catch
yeah.
more grease, super grease.
It was pretty bad. Kellen was saying that they had noticed a sewer smell in their house a few days prior to that as well. So I'm sure it was just
Back.
backed up.
Yeah,
It was pretty bad.
all right. Anybody else with a question on bills? If not, then we make a motion to approve them.
Don't move.
Someone second.
Second.
On favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Payroll. Or if you want to explain what them two are there, is that just the payroll?
That's just the bills that were in there. Yep, and I just put the payroll on its own line.
Okay, all right. All right, down to Sheriff's Department, we had 71 calls, juvenile nuisance, suspicious circumstance, OFP service, animal complaint, motor vehicle, accident, harassment, traffic stop, welfare check, disturbance, direct patrol. Any questions on that from anybody? If not, we can move over to Fire Department. Chief Clammer had 7 calls, 3 medical, 1 carbon monoxide, 2 motor vehicle, 1 lift assist. And under that, a FEMA grant with Blue Earth County, in collaboration with Blue Earth County, Nicollet, Sewer, Scott, that under the fire department?
It's a federal grant that they're trying to write a thing with all the departments in the county. But they're looking for one town to manage the thing, because
Oh, yeah.
the account,
I think St. Clair's doing that. I thought
are they
Phil
gonna
said.
do it now?
I think Phil said St. Clair was, because he was just dropping this off so that council kind of knew what was going on.
Back when this originated, you gotta have somebody that kind of keeps the paperwork and that.
So St. Clair would be Blue Earth County's person then?
Person or to keep all the
Yeah.
bookwork, because it goes, what, Tom, like 5-10 years or something?
I put on the folders, keep forever.
Yeah, pretty much. It's government,
Yeah,
it's federal government, actually.
I mean, there's no chance probably, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the million we have already gotten, I put keep forever, the documents.
You would think that maybe you would think they'd almost want a representative from each town in the counties.
Now, it's just the idea that somebody has to be the go-to
Designated.
person for the state.
Okay.
I mean, some.
Do all the
I mean,
bookwork and the.
Yeah, you have personally have to sign off on those grants and then every expenditure you personally have to sign isn't just like the town, it's me. I mean, when I signed up on the grants, it was me, you know,
Okay.
so
All
that's why
right.
we were pretty persnickety about what we did.
So we're made aware of it then.
Right.
All right, street update race.
So. At four, up in, I was like, yesterday, I was up in Laconia. Taking down some ash trees for my sister because we have it, and then. Driving through Belle Plaine, you notice that Belle Plaine's been hit pretty bad, Welcome's been hit pretty bad. We don't have, I went around today, we don't have. A lot of ash trees, but where we do that, down like at Thunder Valley Park, some of those are shade trees for that playground. And I think it came up to like 25 trees between boulevards and Thunder Valley Park and the bell tower that we are responsible for. There were 5 in the church park, but I don't really know how that agreement works for us. And then there were 7 on the county. I just kind of feeling about what we're looking for direction on what we want to be doing with that. If we want to treat any of them, if we want to take them all down when they or preemptively, if we want to take them down as they start to die out, just looking for
The county would come through and take them down, I suppose.
on the county, yeah, probably more like the county.
Is there any way of saving them or?
You can treat them, I did it at MSU, but and there's people that will do it, when we did it at MSU, it was like, I want to say it was like $4 or $5 grand to buy into everything, the chemical, it's a little CO2 tank that injects a liquid into the tree. You basically drill little plugs and put a needle in, you press a trigger and it forces that into the
Don't you have
tree.
to do that every year or something?
The chemical says 2 years. When I was doing it, they told us that they'd been seeing that you could probably get by with every 3. And it won't, if a tree already has ash borer, they say 30% can be infected before that chemical stops being effective. That being said, if you start injecting a tree with it, anything that's dead on it, it's not like anything that's dead is going to grow back. The stuff that's dead is gone. But I spoke to one person about treating, and he said it was, if you do 1 tree, it's $10 per diameter inch of the tree. Obviously, if you're doing more, you'll probably get a better rate, like anything. So not every tree necessarily needs to be treated, but if there's certain ones that you want to save, it wouldn't probably be a bad idea to do that.
So it's like 200 for like a 2-foot tree, it's like $250 to treat is all?
Yeah,
That's it?
yeah. And that's if you're doing 1 tree. If you're doing more, the rate, I mean, you get a better rate. I only went around and looked at trees in the boulevard. If homeowners wanted to do their own ash tree, we could try and line something or put out a notice or something saying this person's gonna be in town. If you have an ash tree, if you're interested in treating it, you might get a better rate if you do that while he'd be in town as opposed to coming back and just doing your single tree.
Do you know if any of them got the disease now?
I didn't see anything in town. There's an ash tree down at the park that's in rough shape, but I don't think it's from ash borer. It doesn't really have much of the signs of outside of the trees, just in rough shape. There's not really any that I saw signs of. Granted, that being said, at the rate things are going, I mean,
It just don't have time.
it's gonna come. I mean, it's in the KUIC article that they did on Welcome, and if you look at that, if you watch that video, every picture they show is, I mean, Welcome has a lot of ash trees, same with Belle Plaine. And they've been hit pretty hard.
They doing just some down? Are they treating some of them?
Welcome took down 100 last year.
Wow.
When I was at the country club, we took down, in 2 years, I think we took down 300 of them, and I took down we did another 6 on the CU. Granted, those ones didn't have ash borer, but a preventive thing. Obviously taking down a healthy tree is a lot safer than taking down a dead one, just from predictability standpoint. But
I know Mankato's been going through, cutting
Yeah.
them all down.
Yeah, they started doing that when we were doing that at MSU.
What's it cost to take a tree down?
Well, I mean, it just depends on
Size.
the ones that,
Big.
yeah, size, what you have to do, if there's a drop, so like the ones that, the ones in the park, I mean, we could do that in-house. My sister yesterday, they have 5, I took down 2 of them yesterday, but they still have 3 more that they had to have someone come in today. And that ended up being $400 a tree. But they also had a quote, they had a friend that had a quote for 13 trees and it was $8,500, so. It just kind of depends on difficulty, if they need a climber, if they need a bucket truck, if they need a crane, if they need. It just kind of depends on what the circumstance of that tree is.
How about we get a real estimate of what it's gonna cost to get them down and a real estimate what it would cost to treat them?
Treat them in.
Yeah,
Just compare it, come back next meeting and then we'll decide.
And I don't necessarily know, I mean, boulevard trees that might just. The ones that I was mainly thinking of are down at the ball field, not, I mean, if that ever gets used again. Every tree behind where the people, where spectators sit, those are all ash trees, a lot of the trees on the. No, total, in town total, there were 39. But 7 were county and 5 were that park. And again, I just didn't know how.
I think we're responsible for
Yeah.
that too. So.
No guarantees if you treat them that you're gonna save them.
If you treat them, you have a higher chance. I mean,
As long as they're not
I can-
affected.
yeah, as long as they don't. Already, yeah, it'll keep them away. The only thing about it is that once you start, you have to keep. Basically, you try and keep up on it until you can. Comfortably say that ash borer is out of your area. It moves in a wave, so if you're in it. You're trying to figure out when that wave ends. They're predicting probably 10 years. That's how long that it'd be in your area before it kills everything.
You said you did it at college?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the person I talked to, he bought this, he has the same setup.
I guess I would still say we should get an estimate, a real estimate of what it's gonna cost to take them all down and what it would cost to treat them all.
Maybe
And
with
we'll
that
decide.
said, maybe Race out a check what it would cost to get your own equipment to do it in-house.
It's 4 or 5 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you'd have it then.
Yeah, then the chemical is the only, that you have to. CO2 tanks right now. I think he said, it was either one. Little thing of chemical was 40 trees or I think it was one CO2 canister would do up to 40 trees. The chemical was like, at the time, the chemical was, I think, like $450 for 16 ounces or something.
Do you have to have any licensing to do that?
Just,
Application or learning or?
for non-commercial, I don't think so.
I wouldn't think so either. Why don't you figure that out too,
Yeah.
or find that out too?
Yeah. It'd be kind of nice to save them ones out in the ballpark and
Mhm.
some of the other ones.
Well, and it's easy enough to do as well. I mean, they give, the kit comes with a diameter tape measure, so it's. Instead of a normal tape measure, you wrap this around the tree and it doesn't tell you how far around the tree it is. It tells you the diameter of the tree and then that tells you how many plugs you need to put. So you go down to like the root flares, so you have 6 root flares, you take a drill, you drill. Like that far into the tree, you stick a plug in there and you stick
Really?
your little needle and you just shoot it right in. It takes 5 minutes to do a tree.
Have to change your title to Dr. Race then?
Tree doctor. I mean, it's not difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
because if we took down trees, you'd have to take down price of trees, plus, I mean, I would want I would want something replaced.
Yeah,
Right.
you're right.
And
Hey, good point.
not every tree is gonna be like the ones that are in Thunder Valley Park that you can just drop them and take them down easy. A lot of them are, I mean, the boulevard ones. You're dealing with power lines or whatever, there's a number of things that you have to try.
Trees are expensive to replace too.
Yeah. And that's not including, once you cut it down, then you have a stump, if you want to grind that out and then just turns into.
If they're not infected, there's no, but if they get infected, you gotta cut them in. I suppose you gotta do something with all
You just burn it. They just
Oh, you
can't,
can burn
yeah,
it?
they just can't cross county lines.
the, oh, okay, that's why.
And it's already, I mean, it's already in Blue Earth County, so. But. If you're gonna take them down, you wanna do it sooner rather than later, because you can predict a healthy tree. The dead ones, I mean, you could be cutting into it, it just. It might break, and granted, we're probably 5 to 7 years away from any of our trees being outside of the one down and. We're probably 5 to 7 years away from any of them being in critical condition. Like I said, I haven't seen any, I was going around today and looking and I didn't see any signs of it yet. But I mean, the rate it's going, it'll be here and,
Just one,
yeah, I mean, really your only options are cut it down or treat it, and it's just a matter of when you want to cut it down. So,
Well, you have 3 ways to go there, so. Find out. Talk about next meeting. Seal coating?
we got our updated seal coat. Did you put that in their packet?
No,
Did I send that to you?
no,
We got the seal coating price for this year. I think it's $98,000 this year. That's for everything. I think last year it was either 98 or 95. I can't remember which it was.
I think you said it went up like 3,000-4,000.
Yeah, they're not, last year they had a bunch of projects in our area that they were already down here for, as well as just that the cost of oil went up. A good amount.
Ought to be going down, but
Same thing.
so are they gonna be in our areas this year or not? That's why it's so high.
Well, I mean, part of the reason is the oil going up, and I mean, I don't know how much of that mobilization cost is.
Yeah, because I mean, if it means we could save some money and had to wait another year, maybe that's an option to look at too.
I agree.
In the event that we do have them come this year, we're gonna wanna do or figure out what we're gonna do with.
And we got a bunch of street projects.
Well, the storm sewer on the post out on Hope Street,
Yep,
finishing that because
yep.
if they go over that, then you're gonna want that to be after we're done as opposed to digging it or having seal coat it and then dig it up.
As busy as people get, I bet you chances are we won't even get our projects done before they could want to be here to, because we had that problem last year. We just couldn't get nobody to come and do our small project.
Right.
When do they need to know if we make a decision?
He didn't give me an exact deadline by,
Usually they do it in August,
yeah.
you know,
How much was it, you say?
95 or 98.
It was 95, 98.
Oh,
I'll look at my email and I can get back to you in a second.
Well, if they would happen to call you or want to know, Race, you know, I guess we have things we need to get done, so.
I'll call him tomorrow and see
Yeah.
what he's looking at, the timeline or what, so.
Well, if I'm reading this correctly, and if everything was right from previous, why? We got 75,000 in future improvements that we did not spend last year.
Did we take some of that out of there to do some repairs? Streets,
It doesn't say that here,
yeah,
so,
because we did do.
Right.
Repairs like Bell's Alley there. Would that have come out of there because well, basically it was a storm sewer underneath that teared the blacktop up above it and fixes, approach. That was all done.
I mean, I don't know, it could have come out of any line, but according to this, it did not come up with improvements last year. So with that being said, we have about 150,000 that, we could use, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't spend it, so.
Because we spent, what, 10 grand on that sealing around the manholes? Race, was it
Yeah, the
10 grand or
section.
wasn't it 10?
I think it's time that we did.
Yeah. And there was a lot of other areas yet that we need some patching done.
I mean, I'm not saying that we got a much better handle on it now than we did last year, so.
To make this.
That ceiling stuff,
Too added that.
how'd that hold up?
The first time I out, I thought it didn't. It wasn't really doing that great. I've looked at it since, and a lot of it, I mean, I think it's just that whatever the excess was, once I went over that, a lot of it still stayed around.
Pretty mild winter this year too.
Yeah, that's the other things that,
Anyway,
Actually,
maybe we could wait a year.
it might not be a bad idea because this alley sewer by the post office we have down is 85 grand. And I can't remember if that includes, because we talked about boring or lining that pipe from the alleyway,
North.
yeah, to the main street.
I did have them camera that, it is collapsed.
There is a bad spot though too.
Yeah,
Yep.
he made it about halfway down to the north. And then when he started the county road to try and work back, it's collapsed like a foot past where the sidewalk or the curb cutout is.
Really?
They're gonna have to dig it.
Because that 85,000, I don't think covers any of that line at all. And I don't think we'll have to dig up the street there, but probably
No,
the sidewalk.
it'd be the boulevard. I don't know if they could do that.
It's in the boulevard, but
Yeah.
we have where they ended in that alley by the post office, we have the west half to fix yet.
Right.
Because that's very old. The catch basin is
Yeah.
gotta go away.
I think they're talking about just getting rid of that manhole that your knee went through.
Well, you'll have to have the catch basin there.
Yeah, I think they talked about getting the catch basin would be there and the manhole would be.
There's one on both sides.
Yeah, you mean on the west side?
Yeah, the one
Yeah.
that your knee went
Yeah.
through.
So yeah, John's right, you got quite an expenditure there, and then does that have for replacing the blacktop on the alley?
I think that was
That was part
I
of
was
the-
just finishing the alley work, I think.
Yeah,
And maybe the two.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so no blacktopping.
no, well,
well, the initial cost, I don't know what the cost ended up being. I don't remember what it ended up being for that when they dug it up. But the initial cost for them to go through and just do the section that they did and blacktop, it was, I think, like 39,000 or something. And then that's when we opted to wait on the blacktopping because we figured it'd just be better to do that whole alley.
Yeah, because we're gonna come up that alley with a new pipe. Cause you got half of it new.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, it takes a lot of water.
Yep.
So. I think we could almost fair to say to put the seal coating on hold for you.
I agree. I think we should.
I think we have too many other things that demand more attention than to seal coat them
We'll
right
be
now.
more ready next year.
Yeah, again, we hope.
Yeah, well, yeah.
We didn't know, just like that new street we put in front of the post office, if we don't bore underneath and line it, we'd have to cut up our brand new street,
Yeah.
and we're trying to avoid that. So,
So you want to put that in a motion so that it comes back up next year
I believe so, yeah.
early? Somehow? I don't know how you do this. I'll make a motion that we
Put the seal coating
we
on
put
hold.
off the seal coating until next year and let's look at it again next,
Bring it up at the-
February.
Yeah, early
yeah, February.
after the first.
Tom made a motion, someone a second,
I'll second that.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I oppose, motion carried. Okay, building permit, we have one for GT 2-24. Any questions on that? Pretty good detailed,
Nice drawing.
nice drawing, yeah.
He's basically replacing what's already there.
Yeah, it's just.
Okay.
Move to approve. Tom made a motion to approve, someone second,
Second,
all in favor, Amy seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
I opposed. Motion carried. Archery range, we have a letter in our packet. Probably Kent is here to explain a little bit to us.
Kind of gets a report on the archery park of what's been going on in the last year. Since we started keeping track, there was 42 people that have used the archery range. But there's been other people down there like walking their dogs through there and things like that, so it's used by more than just the archery people. We got the backstop cleaned up with all the base and city. We got the backstop cleaned up, the trees, the brush removed, and we extended and increased the height of the berm of the backstop. So we don't have to worry about arrows going off into the river or anything like that. So we extended it out far enough now too that it goes 20 feet, I think it is beyond where our archery line is, where our target lines are. We removed the old shooting line. It kind of just wore out and fall apart. So we kind of fixed that up, put in some new stuff. We put up some hangers for bows because there was nothing there. We made a couple of racks, but the racks kind of just fell apart. So we just did it on a tower. We installed a new, not a new one, a steel roof on the second tower because it didn't have a roof on it for the last, since we built it. That we have for 2023. 2024, we've got some projects we want to try to take on. The first two items are just something that we discussed before with the city and stuff that we wanted to protect them, the big targets that we've got because they're styrofoam and the sun and the UV rays kind of eat that up. Kellen and I have come up with an idea of wrapping them with rubber roofing material. So block the elements, and then even if they shoot it up and put holes in it, it'll still block about 95% of the UVs from hitting the target and eating it up. So it seemed like a good fix for us, and the materials and stuff were very reasonable. Kellen has the exact numbers on them or anything. Might all been donated, I don't know. We would like to add a solid fence between the archery range and the compost pile. Right now there's a wire fence that runs down there to the tree line and then it just kind of stops. We would like to, Kellen has talked to Benco and Excel Energy, and we're gonna try to procure some more telephone poles. And that's what we'll use for poles for the wall. We've got that tree, to continue that fence all the way down, it's gonna be a multiple stage project. So they plan for, first part is, we're gonna part is right behind the compost pile. So it'll be like 2 posts or 3 posts we're gonna put in there. And then Kellen has some saw logs, but he's got a friend or a person who is willing to donate his machinery for sawing the logs, to saw logs for us. So we're gonna try to accrue some more lumber someplace. We've got a few down there, I think. Saw logs. And you guys were talking about taking down some trees, maybe. Is there any possibility we could take them trees and use them as saw logs? The goal is to eventually put a 8-foot potential. Right where the archery compost pile, we want to put a 10-foot wall for the 2 posts. That'd be 20 feet. We would have a 10-foot wall. And then the rest of the way out, that we finish it off. The trees will have to come out though. That's part of what we want to do. That's approved by the city. That fence line down to the east, we're gonna take down till we get to the berm pile, edge of the berm pile, take all the trees down. And the goal with that is that we'll reuse that tree lumber for making saw logs to continue the fence.
Okay, Race, Kellen had talked to me a little bit about this last week. And when we dispose of wood, it's the logs that we have to actually pay to get rid of, right? If we take out trees,
Well,
we can pretty much burn everything else.
I've been trying to keep the logs. I think in the past, people just throwing logs or whatever into the burn pile, but what ends up happening is when you get a big round, it doesn't burn.
Right.
It's covered by ash and so I've been trying to, as like, when I can catch it, if I see bigger logs, I try and kind of sort them off to the side and I mean.
And you drop the trees that you and Kellen cut down last fall in that northwest corner. You just dropped them there, right? You didn't dispose of the logs?
No, there's a handful of them.
Okay, all right, yeah.
You're talking logs like 10 feet long.
Yeah, they're gonna be longer than be about 10 foot. Each pole section is about a 10 foot section. That's, I mean, that's the goal. There is drawings and diagrams here. We haven't got to that point yet. If you look at the first diagram, that's hand sketch, it'll show you basically where we want to put them. And the distance of it. Poles on center will be 9 to 10 feet, depending upon how that works out. And again, that's gonna go all the way down to the berm, but the first section is gonna be just behind the compost pile, which is about 25 feet, I think, or something like that. I can't remember the exact measurement of that, he doesn't got it on here. And again, like I said, the goal was to continue that line down. What it's gonna do is gonna put a separate barrier between the compost pile and anything on that side of the archery range. I know that's kind of a concern of mine and Kellen's, is that if somebody's out there unmanaged, and for whatever reason, they're goofing off and they shoot in that direction, somebody's down there jumping something off, and we've got an issue. You know, we try to think of multiple different ways of how we could make a barrier between there. We looked at purchasing some tarps and some archery cloths and stuff like that, but you're talking a huge, huge expense there, like into the tens of thousands of dollars. This way, we think we can do it with a minimal cost. When I say minimal cost, labor and stuff is gonna be by volunteer people. So we ain't got any labor costs that way. If we can use the logs to make saw logs, we've got a guy that's gonna donate his time and machinery to do that, so it's no cost to us there. We just have the cost of the labor. I don't know, the future expansions onto this, if anybody does, there's a picture of what fences would theoretically look like. And again, like I said, the one behind the compost pile would be our biggest one, and our first one we start with, that would be a 10 foot high wall. That's the plan. We did get some new targets made last year, and we haven't had a report. One thing more we'd like to do on the towers, we would like to add another tower, because when you're shooting archery, Kellen does a lot more of it than I do as far as games, like on hunting things and stuff like that. And he says that a lot of the stands are in that 12 to 16 foot range of where they're at. Right now, our top tower is only 12 foot high. The goal would be to take some telephone pole, power pole, put them in there, expand that across to the tree line on the north side, and build another tower up there that's 16 foot up. It'll be another 4 foot above what we've got with the current tower there. Back to my notes. The contact Benco and Excel, I told you that, the energy to procure some power poles. And he said some others stated that they will donate either labor and or resources and material for the fence. This is a deconstruction, reconstruction, or deconstruction construction, because we're not reconstructing the fence that was there, we're reconstructing a new fence that's there, or constructing. Again, this is going to be a phase section. We'll have one phase we will work on, which will be 2 poles to start with, the wall, and then we'll move on to the next pole, put up that section as well. That's the goal of development for that. This is gonna be an ongoing project. It's not gonna be something that's gonna be done in a year or maybe even 2 years. It might be 3 years to get the whole project completed. But I think it's, by the time we get done, I think it'll be a good investment of our time and resources we're taking into it to help keep that area safe for everybody to use and not complicate things. That's all we got. There may be or may not be, I think the city gave us $500 last year. I don't know that we do.
I don't think you've used $20, $30 at best.
Yes, a lot of stuff Kellen has been doing, but time and material. If you will get to a point where we're going to need to buy things, you know, and I think right now we're good with the $500 to start with. So I don't think we're asking for any money at this time, just approval from the city to move forward with the project, and whether or not the city is willing to donate their trees that they cut down for saw logs, if we can do that. And that's kind of where that's going.
I think we need to have a sketch and a plan permit. We need to have a building permit filled out so that, you know, we officially have what's going to happen. And then I think once we approve that, I don't see why we can't approve that, make it all happen.
But you got sketches here, you just haven't got a permit.
Got this right here.
I realize that, but it's not a building permit. I don't know how it is. You gotta be careful.
I think it's all pretty good, you know, that solid wall is great. I don't wanna
Great
be,
idea.
don't wanna be deliver a bad message, but I can't remember what year it flooded down there, you know? It was like 4 or 5 feet deep where the compost things are. Do you think that wall would withstand the force
I
of the
don't
water?
know, I don't know. how much-
Will we ever get that again?
I don't know how much pressure was there when that overran the banks, and I don't, if water just runs out there and goes up,
Yeah.
the poles are buried, if I don't.
Yeah.
Have an issue with that. My biggest concern would be is that sand soil. If you get a lot of water on top of it, will the fence sink? Will the towers sink?
Oh, I think you're in the clay there.
Oh, okay, I don't know. As far down as I dug when I put the poles in, there's 4.5 feet, it was all sand.
Really?
Yeah,
It was all silt,
it was still sand.
really?
I had to put some class 5 in the bottom just to hold. I don't know if it's gonna hold for forever, but it depends on how deep that sand is and how much water goes through there. How much underneath erosion there is, you know?
Would they be right to the ground too, or would there be a foot off the ground or 2 feet?
Well, if the city has a need to have it like 6 inches off the ground or something like that for maintenance, for cutting grass and shit like that, I think we can manage that. But I don't wanna leave it enough that there's an arrow can skip underneath that and hit a rock or something, you know, that kind of thing. So I think we wanna try to stay as close to the ground as we can, but if, like I said, if you need it for maintenance reasons, I'm sure we can leave it up 2-3 inches. But you gotta do your maintenance thing under there if that works.
Are you still gonna leave the compost things facing that way, or Kellen talked about you were maybe gonna rearrange them? They would help protect it if it ever did flood, you know, the
Yeah.
big cement.
Our biggest thing is gonna be if it floods down there, how far away the target's gonna wind up.
Right, yeah, I guess, you know, if a guy knew that, you'd probably go rescue them.
Well,
Depending if.
they're semi-portable enough that if the guy went down to a flatbed trailer, you could throw them all on a flatbed trailer. You don't get them out of there. That means it's something we have to evaluate as we go. We don't have a storage facility for them and we don't have a way to, I mean, it wouldn't make much sense in the season to put them away on a weekly, daily basis, whatever, you know. So, yeah, if it's raining, then we've got to worry about flood waters. I think we can evaluate that as time goes by. And if the need calls for it to remove them targets, we'll just figure a way to do this. Someone's got one to throw some targets on. So I don't think that's gonna be a big issue.
Well, I think it all looks pretty good. I guess, yeah, like Tom says, you gotta be careful, have a building permit, bring that back and everything should be fine. Everybody's in agreement with that?
Yeah.
We need a motion to allow them to cut some trees, do some.
It is the city's property, so it's gotta be approved by the city before we do anything.
That's why I think we should have the permit, then we'll approve it.
Okay,
You know, then it's the official, so,
So if we do the permit, we're gonna, this the permit to cut down the trees, or we need to put that in the permit?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I would put every step that you want, pretty much, you know.
okay.
Kind of this, what you got
It's
here.
kind of like that, yeah.
We'll probably just take that and attach it to the.
Yeah, that's fine, that's fine.
But what we got for hand graphics on there is, we'll probably just attach to the permit, that makes it a whole lot easier.
Yeah, that's fine.
all right, sounds good.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Yep, thank you. Yep. Alrighty, water sewer update, Brian. Somebody get a report from him or?
He just said he would be here.
Again, I'll pass I showed you guys already, but he took water samples today of. He did, I think all 3 of his towns, so he did Pemberton and he sent me a picture earlier of Pemberton and. Our wastewater samples side by side. So if you want to pass that down, the 2 clear ones on the outside. That's Pemberton's water, and the
Where
2
the
ones in the middle are ours, and that's from the blood in the water. That's tainting that red so bad.
I just, with the amount, 40-some thousand gallons of water going down there, I just always thought that blood would dilute more than that, but obviously it does not.
Well, once we do that, start treating the ponds,
Yeah, yeah.
that should, because the blood, I know is a source of phosphorus.
Phosphates and protein, isn't it? I think. Oh,
I mean, does anybody know, are they catching any blood?
I have no idea.
They have those yellow barrels in there in the back of their building now, but I don't know if they're I don't know if those are in use or what.
What was always interesting, what was interesting to me though, is that when the engineer, we asked that question specific, I mean, is this, if we eliminated that from the locker, would that cure our problem? And the answer was, we don't know that.
That's it.
We don't think maybe that's all there, you know?
He said it helped.
Yeah, he said it might help. So that's why we've always been a little bit,
Cause he made it sound that one meeting that laundry soap and
yeah.
Well, laundry soap, I guess, no longer has phosphorus, but dish soap
Dish soaps.
Mhm.
and soaps. So, I mean, we have how many households, you know, that are running soap down their drain every day too. So it may be a wash, it may be 50-50, it may be, you know, who knows, but
Right. They were.
Commercially, the restaurant would be using a lot of dish soap.
I would think that, you know. That was the first time that I ever heard that answer from the engineer was, oh, we don't know. I thought before it was like a drop dead thing. Oh, yeah, that's where it's coming from, but maybe not, you know?
If we go forward with going south or adding the sanitary sewer to the south, wasn't there like a manhole or something? Design or something they talked about that would capture something or would capture that before it comes in like the.
No, you would be treating it through that,
No, I'm talking about if we were to go south, where we're already talking about doing our sanitary sewer, didn't they talk about like a manhole or something that had a deeper bottom that would catch the blood would sink down?
I don't think so.
We were talking about it.
There's something about it's like a
That would
deeper,
come out of the locker. and
yeah, it's
it
like a
would-
deeper.
I think he just
Yeah.
made the comment that you'd be able to check it, or you could check the flow and.
I don't think it'll separate.
No,
No.
it's not what we have in plans
I know
to
they were talking
construct.
about, but it could have just
Yeah, they
been
said something
example.
about, I can't remember enough what it was.
I think it was just to be able to take better samples and it's gonna be directly right there. That's the only thing.
Sure.
To know what's happening there.
All right, yeah, we're gonna, the engineers will get back and pursue putting that treatment facility in down there, right?
Yep.
You know, he did mention there that we can get a building built on our own, so we don't have to
Yeah.
engineer.
Right.
There's local carpenters.
Yeah.
And, again, they didn't say if we needed a frost footing or did they want a floating slab?
Pretty sure they wanted a floating slab because they don't want to dig into that. area.
Yeah, so. And they were talking about the weight of the chemicals. Well, it's only in, what, it'd be 330 gallon totes?
Yeah, them coats.
Yeah, I mean, so. So that'd be what, 7 times 27, 2,800 pounds.
Well, he made it sound like it didn't have to be an enclosed.
It is, yeah.
Well, it'll be,
Yeah, it's gonna be a little,
no, it's not. Remember, because they said the last meeting, if they design an enclosed facility, then they get it all through the code. Said you just we just need basically a poles and a roof. The rest of it can be open.
but I think we have to have it more heated because the chemical would freeze,
what was the?
which is, you know, he didn't want to get into the oil.
You're gonna have like a safety shower because chemicals involved or something with it too, like a portable.
Yeah.
Ocean.
You said they'll be back again next month.
Yeah, they'll be back, yeah.
Let's have them update us on that one too then, just to make sure we're all on the same page and.
All right, anything else then?
Astronomical figure if they had to. Did an engineer and had anything to up the code versus just.
Oh, yeah, I mean, they would made an air handling system and you'd have probably even have a bathroom there. I don't know, you know. That's the way it
He
is.
made a comment, what, close to $100,000.
That's a Brian,
All right, next thing is resolution 2024-2. For an easement agreement. With Brett Winters, $8,500. Brett, do you have anything to add to it? Okay, anybody? And his easement being brought up now already then through the lawyer?
The easement should be in your packet. You can put it in there,
You're talking about the office.
Actual legal description.
the actual easement itself.
Oh, no, it's not. Or is it? No, it's not.
Yeah, I passed it on to Kennedy. I got the information from Joe. And then I forwarded it on to Kennedy. So I just want to look at it. I apologize. Sorry.
Well, with that said, somebody want to make a motion then to approve resolution 2024 2 for the amount of $7,500 for an easement. The other one was a right of way, right?
You guys won't be using that right away at all anymore.
No, I know it. No, but that's,
That was, yeah.
that was called a right of way. Now we're going for an easement.
Yep.
Yep, okay,
Like a permanent easement.
Yep. yep,
It'll be registered on your
Yep.
abstract.
yep.
You know.
Um,
Oh, down 100 years from now, it'll be there, you know.
I'll make the motion. We approve resolution 2024-02.
John made the motion, someone to second?
Second.
Scott and Amy both second. All in favor, say aye.
Right.
Opposed, motion carried. All right, thank you, guys.
So whenever Kennedy gets done,
It's done.
so we'll just have to find out how to execute and pay.
So my understanding is we sign it, notarize it, and then I'll get it back to Kennedy, or we file it. That I will talk to Kennedy about.
And find out.
Yep.
Sending in
Yep.
there.
Will you be able to come up here to sign it then? I'll make it, figure out how to work, make that work. Okay.
And then, yeah, how and when we should, final payment then. How to do the final payment.
Yeah. Oh, yep, okay.
Can I get paperwork as far as?
Absolutely. Yep,
So I
yep.
can look it over. before-
Yeah, do you want an email? Do you want a copy now? I can send you one tonight.
Just email.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's a lot of legal stuff.
Yeah.
It is.
2 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 feet. From the north line of.
None of that.
Makes seconds.
Not that many good people.
There's a lot of good people around. It's not to trust.
Okay, we got the resolution passed. Community comment? Anybody? Move on to unfinished business. We have water meter installation date, important data to Banyan conversion. Yeah, this here, first thing I seen is they wanted $7 to check out the sump pump. I mean, you think you'd be assisting them at each residence a little bit, base that we can't use our in-house, because that'd be another $1,500. Have them looking, yep, no sump pump. And if you know people have a sump pump outside, are you still, do we still want to check into the basement?
They do it, the way that Brad was explaining to Don and I is they do it as a flat rate. Just for every house because it's just easier for them, there's less, I forget how to describe it, there's not an issue with it. They do it as a flat rate over everything because there's less. There's less of an I can't remember the use.
Right, and if you have one outside, they're gonna check somebody's basement or, you know, this to go to their water meter and put their water meter in. But then they're gonna walk around the whole perimeter of your basement, like my basement is all finished off. They're gonna trounce around in my whole basement on the carpet.
No, what they said is that the way it works is they'll go and they'll ask if you have a sump pump and you say yes. They'll ask you to show them where it is and they'll take a picture of it, document it, make sure that it's outletting to the proper location. But they won't, if it's in like under a bedroom or something, and they're not gonna go in and search it out. It's more of a, if they say yes, they'll document it. If they say, I don't know or no, then unless they can see it in the basement from where they're showing them, they don't go and hunt it down.
Are we gonna ask if they have a perimeter tile around their house at all?
I don't think they're gonna do that.
No, they don't know how many.
Which was legal for quite a few years, but now it's no longer legal.
I don't even know if they have the.
Yeah, I would.
Don't know how many people would even know that.
That's right, I know, but it's, and then lead pipe, lead,
Yes, they said they will do that. I didn't write down in my notes how much they said they would charge. For.
No, that's just
That
included.
was included.
It's included. Okay, all right, that's why, okay.
They're right there, they're doing everything else they should, and documenting everything else on a specific form. Let's just let them do the whole thing and have it.
Yeah.
Just get it over.
Is that-
We only have till October to get this done. Let's just get it.
And if we find a lead pipe, how long do we have to get that? And is it city expense right into the basement floor to the meter?
We only have to report it.
Well,
It would be-
reporting it for now. My understanding was that. I don't know if it starts next year or the following year, at some point that. It'll be the city's responsibility to replace 2% of those per year.
Yep.
And if I had to guess, that. They're starting at 2%, I wouldn't be surprised if that goes up to 5 or 10 or whatever, because I
Probably
think,
depends on how many are. in
well, you
each
think, I
town.
mean, you say you find 100 houses that have it, 2% a year, that still takes you 50 years to eliminate all the lead. So I mean, I would be surprised if they didn't increase that number at some point.
I think they're still working through it though, too.
Yes.
This right now, what we have to have done is this year, it's just reported back.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Then we submit to, or Brian to the state or wherever, and
Yeah. And then there's like,
They want everybody, I think, to do it. That way they know where they're gonna come up with all this money to help fund it.
Yeah.
That's where it's.
Yeah.
Whether it makes certain dates.
somehow or another, they prioritize which ones are the worst. I don't know how they do that, but somehow or another, they prioritize it, and that's how you.
And the other thing they were asking about is having the meter grounded. He said most of
Yeah.
them probably have the copper wire.
Between them.
And if they don't, I think they will do it. I think it was like 14 for the wire and
Yeah, I think it's, I
$20,
think it's like 20, but if they were to do it, it's like 20 or 25.
$28 something total. So we just need to let them know.
They also said that some cities choose to put that on the homeowner responsibility too. They said that's just more, if they see it, what do they want us to, what do we want them to do?
Right.
I think they should just report that,
I mean,
because that's really electrical thing there, you
I
know,
would think people would want it grounded between the meters, you know,
if they know.
if they know, yeah.
I never knew. I didn't know that you're supposed to do that.
I have one.
I thought it was supposed to go through the meter. What am I supposed to know?
Too much plastic now. 5 years ago, it probably didn't.
Yeah, that's what he's saying is that they don't want the plastic.
Yeah, because they're composite, well, before they were all brass, so it was grounded. But it's not groundable.
That makes sense.
Okay, so then, were we gonna use, was that COVID money, or we had $66,000? Was that COVID money, or what was that from again?
That was from the COVID, but that was, yeah,
And we are going to use that for the replacement
that's.
entirely, right?
Yep,
Yep.
yep,
Yep.
Yep.
Because it's there. We need to use it, right?
correct. It needs, yeah,
There's a date that it was supposed to be.
we have to
Sure.
report it.
Sue should be getting another report because I
Yep.
think when I came in last year, it was
think it's-
due beginning of April.
Well, first part of April, we'll have to do another report and then we'll be doing that. You know, it's not gonna cover the total costs, but it will
Right.
definitely cover 2/3 of it.
Most of it.
They got a lot of it. Yep,
Yep.
yep. So I mean, yeah, I mean, there's 76,000 here. Did we have any other update in the cost of it, you know, or on this one here, John?
Yeah, well, the installation, having them installed, it's gonna add what, 23,000-ish, 24,000-ish.
So we're talking almost $100,000.
It'll be, we'll probably clear that, we'll probably make that. So,
But yeah, with the handful of commercial meters too, that's, I don't think that's on the. Not that there's that many of them, but
You said there was like 7 or 8.
yeah, there's like 7.
So how about the school, the old school? Who's gonna go and see what they need to get on hand?
Well,
I
at
would,
this point, I don't think, until they get. Whatever they're gonna be doing in order.
That water shut off down.
Yeah, it's shut off inside and.
yeah, right now
Yeah, I
too.
know, but you gotta update it, I would suppose then.
I
Like
think at this point.
They're gonna wait until.
Yeah,
Right now, it's a no action until they start
Mhm.
making apartments and then they need the individual water lines.
Decide, yeah.
It will have to know what
Yep.
they're gonna do individual or one big or. They might even have to upsize for all we know.
The residential and the commercial, that's all gonna be. by the Commercial, all right.
Yep.
Cause I bet you that 4-inch water main I got. 3,000-4,000
But
bucks.
I suppose, but I mean, it is what it is.
If you give me a second, I can tell you.
It's the city's
What, you wanna pay for it?
choice.
No, I don't, no, I pay
We'll let you.
$5,000 a quarter for water. I don't think I'm gonna buy my own meter either. So, yeah. A lot of money there.
Yeah, it is. We got a lot of money going out again.
Good thing we voted to suspend the seal coating, I
Yeah,
think.
well, this is something that we have to, I mean,
We did talk
it's kind of like
at
updating.
the last
cash.
meeting about the people that have
Well, it's
the
cheaper than what he thought.
How much is
meter
it?
for
3420.
outside water. We're
Yeah,
not gonna change them.
no,
We can do a manual.
we'll
Once a year.
keep the old.
You're not
ones,
doing, you're not replacing your outside meters?
For the
doing
out,
all
for the
of
garden water, for the garden water?
Yeah, I thought you were doing all of them.
No, we thought.
Because those
maybe
are
we-
red, those are red once a year.
Right.
Yours, yes.
Man.
Well, we could do a manual.
But then it's in cubic feet also.
And then you've got
Well,
the whole conversion and everything, and if, I think you just need to
It
replace it.
shouldn't be that bad. I mean, well, how many do we actually have out
Not that
there?
I don't think
Five,
there's 10 of them, is there?
You know?
I got
I
one.
don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, the one issue that I could think of leaving them is like, say you run into someone that fights you on not wanting to let you read it, or that's the only, I mean, that's, not saying that would happen.
Well, they need to bring a picture of it. The beginning of the year to Sue. Showing
Yeah,
the
but these ones
numbers.
now are automatically read once a year. The ones that were yours is the only one that has to bring in a picture. All the other ones,
Yeah, Vicky's is the only. one
yep,
that's like-
Vicky's all the other ones are read once a year.
Was they're permanently mounted though? Cause hers, she just.
I
most of them are-
Just takes it to the faucet.
Yeah.
Most of the people just have them plumbed in.
Well, whatever, then let's just put new ones in then. There's
That's
a
not-
few, if there's 10 or less or whatever, who
See, I don't
cares?
think there's that many of them.
105,000.
I mean, I don't.
Will all be smaller lines probably.
Yeah, they're all.
They're all 5/8.
Yeah.
Yes.
My line coming in is 1 inch. And then there's a reducer down to 5. Well,
Oh,
no, we're talking about 1 to 5/8. Then it goes back up
Then,
3/4.
on this list here for the generator, didn't we have a pretty good down payment already on that?
But we've done half
Mhm.
already, yeah.
How much did we pay down?
20,
20?
yeah, 20.
So, okay. All right.
Kyle just texted me saying he'll be here tomorrow to start that pad, and then I'm supposed to have a site visit with the generator company on Thursday. So then,
Do they want clay underneath it then? Like I said, there's a
I
nice,
think if we're gonna have a $40,000 generator out there, I'd say that's probably, God forbid something happens and that thing slides down the hill, and
yeah, but I mean, they're gonna amp in clay or they're
Yeah,
just gonna use class 5 or what are they gonna do?
they're gonna do clay, and then probably the top whatever amount will be.
Did you tell them we have our own clay?
Yep, that's what he's got the excavator out there for. I'm
Yeah.
assuming he's gonna load that pile up with a,
So,
they're bringing a roller compactor with the excavator for that too.
Did you need approval on this letter?
Yes, just if there's anything council wants changed, or otherwise I will let them know tomorrow. And they can get these letters generated.
So I'd say, Jen, just as far as what we've talked about, the only thing is with grounding wires, just to have them report it to us, we'll notify the homeowner about getting it grounded if it needs a grounding.
Mhm.
you know, when they run plastic now into a new house, that wire is there, but usually that's just basically a tracer wire in.
Right, that's why I don't quite understand,
Yeah, because I mean, when you had a copper pipe coming from the main, which is no infrastructure of the city, you were permanently grounded.
I think that's what he's talking about, is only copper to copper, the plastic ones don't need it.
The what?
The plastics ones didn't need it, it's just the copper.
Something about if the house got hit by lightning,
You're right.
they jumper.
Yeah, I
across
know
it,
that.
so don't.
But if you have plastic coming into your house,
Oh, so it wouldn't be grounded, so it wouldn't jump.
Yeah, you would.
That's it.
Right,
There you go.
Yeah.
you got your rod that you shoved in the ground.
Yeah.
8 feet.
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
He said it was more for a safety reason for
What you're,
me, like if I were to go grab it, he said that if
If
it's
it
not
got-
ground, you could potentially get.
Yeah, or the house gets hit,
Yeah.
it's, falls, gets the copper.
Does everybody get to look at this then? Do you want to add anything? Is this all right?
Think it's gonna work.
I think so, too.
And when would work commence?
Second,
They have them on hand that much?
Okay, he
Yep.
said everything's
Yep.
on, he said the whole thing might take 2.5, 3 weeks.
yeah, he said, I talked to Brad and then Midwest installers today on the phone. And he said, all we have to do, as long as we can get that letter out to the residents by the first of next week, they can be out here the 1st of April. And then they send out the rest of the letters and do all the contacting. But by the time they come out here the 1st of April, they'll have a list of people already to start installing meters. And then as they're here, they'll work on the ones that didn't respond or however.
I could probably give you a list that won't respond, just to make it difficult. Like the one that you worked on lately there, that meter's still underneath the trailer yet,
There's a,
or house?
there's access to it because that's where the leak ended up being. It's that meter, so there's
Yeah.
access to it.
Okay,
We only have, what do we count, 9 trailers?
There was like eight.
Yeah,
8 trailers.
because one of them's, that yellow one's not getting one because it's,
we had one other one that was gonna be condemned. Now there's an individual moved in there. Do we know?
that's the one.
Status.
That's what we're talking about. They're not getting a meter.
They're not what?
That trailer wouldn't be getting a meter.
Doesn't get one?
No,
No, the ones that have broken lines aren't getting, there's a couple of them in town. I think there's 3 of them that aren't getting new meters because they don't have water now.
yeah, if they don't have water.
And they've got issues with their pipes, so they're not getting them.
Well, how about the one down on the bottom of the hill that flooded the basement? Does that get a meter?
No. That's one,
Not until water.
Water gets turned
Yeah, they
on.
get water turned back on or. If they, once they start paying for water again, then
Who's gonna put it in then? You know,
They will.
don't you put it in now and have it under the whole same bill?
Right, I mean, but if it's a situation like that, I mean, that's a special thing, then they would have to pay that, but the homeowner would have to have that
They
installed.
can't pay the water bill, so you know,
Well, then the chances of it happening are zero.
They're hauling water and they're not paying a sewer bill either. In reality, if they're bringing water from an out source.
That is a problem, but we've seen that in the past.
they'd have to be hauling a lot of water to make a big difference, though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're not showering every day and
Laundry.
all right, then if this is all right with everybody?
yeah, oh, and the other thing was disposal, they disposed the old meters for free, no charge at all. So,
Good deal. Get rid of them.
yeah,
Somebody, we want a motion on this then?
I'll make a motion that we move forward with that contract.
All right, I made a motion, someone a second,
I will second.
all in favor?
Aye.
I oppose, motion carried. All right. New business. John, you said something about that
Oh,
evaluation.
yeah, so we were gonna do evaluations, so do we want to meet have another special closed personnel meeting to go over and write, evaluations for Race and Sue?
Yes,
Okay, just need to find a time then to do that.
and if I remember right, we can say it's closed, but if the employees wish it open, they can make it open.
Well, we'll have to come up, I mean, do you want to do it with them? Work out the evaluation while they're here, or you want to do it that way?
I think so. Let's just do it once.
Okay. We just have to coordinate times where we have one in and then
Yeah.
the other one in.
Don't we have to make the evaluations first, though?
That's, well, you said kind of write them all at the same time. I don't know.
Write them while they're here?
Yeah, yeah.
We'll just,
You have-
Talk about 2 different things.
Yeah, I think so. Do you have an evaluation? I just think he's talking about making one.
He's talking about making the form. I think you're talking about filling out the.
Oh, I thought you had that done already.
no, I haven't done it.
Oh,
You had a sample one, no? That was-
yeah, I thought you had it. Yeah.
I have the evaluation form, but we have to talk about and grade them. There's been we haven't had a discussion on how we want to evaluate them, like you're a trooper, you're doing a great job, or we want to kick you out the door. I'm just kidding.
Well, okay, that can't be a closed
Are you
meeting.
kidding with the great job or you?
That can't be a closed meeting then,
Why?
because that's nothing to do with a particular employee.
But we're
That's just a form.
But we're talking about personnel. We're talking about performance.
Performance, yeah.
To me, that's a closed
You're
meeting.
talking about developing the form, not developing.
No, we've got the form. We've got the form approved. We already approved the form we're gonna use.
He's talking about going through the form with them. Instead of us filling it all out and then reviewing them with that filled out form, right?
Oh, I guess I would do it with them, but I guess
Yeah.
if the rest of you don't want to, that's okay too. We can have another meeting.
Myself, I think we ought to, as a council, just go through them. And like, I don't know if you'd call it grade them or whatever, and then the next meeting, meet with the
That's
individual.
fine. Yeah, I'll do that too.
Or you could take and meet an hour before at the same night, get that all hashed through, and then have each individual come in the same night, get it done, so
Sure, we could do
have a
that.
meeting and meeting and meeting.
That would work too, because it shouldn't take too long.
Cause we only got,
It's too,
They're getting more. The meetings are not going down. They're getting more.
There's some,
but if we do it that way, it's just one meeting instead of two.
yeah,
And just so we have them done by the end of March, so, because then we can, have the discussion on, what, and, if and what is gonna be erased for this next year, so.
all right, can we do them that this week, like Thursday night? I'm around all week this week, next week is a whole different ballgame, but. To get the ball moving, cause you could deliver them to there, what, a month or two ago, John, already, and
Yeah,
You have something we can use?
yeah, before that,
Oh, I don't bring my phone out.
Well, Thursday would.
I think Thursday would work with me too.
What date?
we make it
About the
72 hours, right?
I was gonna say, will
Is that a
that,
stamp or
we
is
have
that
it Thursday night?
actual?
Oh, yeah, would we make that,
Did we make that? I'm not sure.
would we make a meeting Thursday night with a notification tomorrow?
Tuesday doesn't count, so Wednesday, Thursday, no.
No,
You can do
I
Friday,
think so.
Friday,
Yeah.
because the first day doesn't count.
Friday work?
That's getting tricky.
These are tricky.
it'd be after 5:30.
I can make it work if it works for everybody else. Oh, what about you two? Because you'll have to come in on a Friday night then too.
I'm waiting on a text for a work schedule, so.
What, what time could we meet? Could we do it, Amy, could you guys be here at 3 o'clock? So we could have it done and meet with these guys at,
I work till 4:30, so
yeah, that's what I
I'd
mean.
have to leave then.
Yeah,
Well, you can close the door.
Well, yeah, because that's soundproof, but yeah, we could do that.
I mean, Tom, does the carpenter's schedule allow for that?
On what day? The Friday? Or-
Yeah,
I didn't think we could make that.
We could do Friday.
Friday we can.
Mostly
Thursday we
Tuesday,
can.
Oh.
and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is the third day, so we're good.
Can you make it that early?
I can make it that early, but can
I'd
students
rather-
be off early?
Well, we can be out here and we'll just close that door while she's working.
She's,
Put a radio on.
she's saying it's not soundproof.
put your headphones on.
It's okay.
I don't have any-
I
They
think
start yelling at me, I don't want you to hear her.
Well, they'll be talking before we get in anyway, so.
She'll have a
Scott?
up to the ear.
Can you do that on Friday the 15th? Like at 3? Would you say 3?
15.
Just say, I just threw 3 out there, but yeah, I
Can we
mean,
make it at 3?
Three.
I think I can make it. at
Scott,
3.
you make it at 3?
I think so.
Scott's got a flexible schedule.
Store open that day. Just have to find somebody to work.
So we're gonna meet at 3 o'clock and then you guys are gonna meet us at 4 o'clock or?
Well,
We can make that, well,
Decision.
race gets off at 4. I don't know, we can,
I can make it, Sam can work that day, so I can make whatever work.
well, it'll run into taking more time than we think, probably. So I guess, it's up to them guys, or would we, that's just another
It's
meeting.
fine, let's just do it, be done.
That's, yeah, that's my.
Yep, just do
Yeah.
it.
Okay,
I'm
Somebody
over
wanna
here at
make them-
5.
You'll have time.
I'm over here at 5 on Friday. No, just kidding.
I'm just gonna sit here and do what I'm doing now.
No questions answered. You might have stuff for us.
We're going to have a motion for this then, right?
Yes.
We have a meeting here on Friday at
And that
3.
will be a closed meeting. I'm correct in my interpretation.
Correct.
Yes.
Closed person, well,
Closed personnel.
yes, I'm gonna keep mine closed.
We'll also definitely close.
That's, yes.
The
I would-
meeting we're having would be an evaluation, but it would certainly be closed because we would be talking about individuals.
Individual performance,
Performance.
which is not shareable. That's
Yeah.
privileged information,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yes,
So
So somebody want to make a motion then to have this on Friday at 3:00?
I will make a motion to have a closed meeting starting at 3:00 for evaluations
Someone to second?
Friday.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I oppose, motion carried. Alrighty. Send a text again, Sue. I love when you do that.
yeah, okay.
It's always a good,
Don't forget.
yeah. Alrighty, anything else under new business?
Yep, your wagon train.
Okay. Yeah, I had an individual, his name is John Davis. They have this thing called this is the 2023 Friendship Wagon Train. They do this for the Special Olympics of Minnesota to raise money and awareness. They are gonna start out in Rochester on the 21st, June 21st on a Friday. And they're gonna take a week, or they're gonna be in Good Thunder Friday night. And they're gonna be here Saturday for a final ceremony where the money they collected will be handled to the Special Olympics. They wanted to know if they could be down there by the ballpark, you know, because we have that facilities down there. I said, yeah. And then I also offered that we could have this in my big shop. So rain or shine, it won't get canceled, you know? So they were pretty happy about that. They were talking about a breakfast, I would think basically Saturday morning and a supper Sunday night. So there's some people working on maybe putting together something like that, you know? And I don't know if they were gonna try to do a silent auction. That takes a lot of time and labor to go collect, to raise money for this. Or if it's just a supper where you come and donate, you know? So he was just at the shop today there. And
Do they want us to put on like a town thing or something to read?
kind of, yeah, you know.
So a breakfast Saturday morning, was that the main event or?
Well, no, Brett, the ceremony there on Saturday, it doesn't have anything, just a ceremony. Where they'd be giving the money to the Special Olympics, and those people, I believe, come out of the cities maybe or something. Except the money,
Could the city sponsor and have attendees do a goodwill offering and
you could do both, a supper and a breakfast, you know.
oh, you want to do a supper?
Oh, they want supper also,
Oh,
yep.
oh, that part I didn't catch. Okay. Ooh, okay, that's different.
You probably would get more people at us, you know. I think the breakfast is more for their people. There could be anywheres from, what did you say, 25 to 45 individuals in this wagon train deal. So,
But you said Friday is Good Thunder.
but then, yeah, they end up here Friday night and
But then
they're
they
here
come back.
overnight
Over here,
and then they're here for the ceremony on Saturday.
someone hosting them overnight?
Well, they got trailers to live in.
Oh, okay.
And one thing he did call back this afternoon is wanted to know about a shower facility. Anybody got an idea how we could handle that at all, or?
Well, we got the
Shower
tank fill up
semi
here.
or something.
We got the tank fill up here.
Is there a shower in those downstairs or downstairs?
The ball fields?
Yeah. There's not. Oh.
I told him we'd see if we could work on that, like, so. Anyway, I was just gonna make people aware of what,
Well,
Gonna happen.
I think we should officially adopt it or not, or whatever. I mean, I'm in favor of it.
yeah,
I think we should utilize the facilities down at the ballpark,
yeah,
you know, encourage.
if they
them
want
and
to
others.
camp down there or whatever, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how to get a shower for them. I mean, I can't really think that through real quick, but
Unfortunately, there's nothing we
I
can.
mean, there are
Nothing other
ways.
than renting a trailer with showers like they do at carnivals or something like that, but
Right, I mean, there are ways, it's just.
there's, yeah, that's the only option. Yeah. Very much so.
Well, Tom, somebody want to make a motion then to accept this or make it?
What time on Saturday was that
It just,
ceremony thing?
it doesn't say, just final ceremony Saturday, June 29th. So it's kind of vague.
Do you have a contact and I will get some
Yeah.
more information?
John Davis, right there.
That'd be
Okay.
great, yeah.
And I will contact them and try to get a lot more information. I'll bring it to our next meeting. And then you guys can decide if what you want to do with it or kind of get a little more game plan on what's going on.
Yeah, ask what other towns are doing too.
Yeah, yep.
It looks like they're gonna be at Buford
Hmm.
for lunch at the church. I would take it, at the church.
Hmm.
I suppose, yeah.
And they were gonna have lunch in the country, Waldorf, Mapleton. Hoping to Wetісco and Waldorf, it's just. What, 120 miles from Rochester, the way they're going to get here. Up and down across,
This is like a horse and buggy thing or what?
I guess so, it's probably what they got here. They got trailers to come with them, you tender the horses or whatever.
So it's the spin off of that. Day after Christmas, in Mankato.
Well, looks like they've been doing it, so they should be able to answer something.
Well, yeah, and then we'll have more. We can get an itinerary or something from them and then I'll bring it to the next month.
June, right, June 23rd,
But you got.
June, right?
June, yeah,
So we got plenty
20,
of time.
At my house.
Friday night, the 28th, they'd be arriving and Saturday is that day.
So we got plenty of time then.
Yeah.
I mean, my question would be, how do you plan something you don't know any idea how many people you plan for?
Right.
Do you plan for 100? Do you plan for 500?
I know it, yep.
You know, who can do that unless they have some ways of.
Well, I'm sure they've done this before.
And they did talk to the Amboy Lions. Dean Walters is involved in that. They came from there today to the shop. So they have some input too, so if we.
The Amboy Lions?
Yeah, if we host them at the shop and the Lions wanna bring stuff along or whatever, that would help.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can find out.
But like I said, I told them, at least if you have it inside, rain or shine, you
Yeah.
can plan on having it.
Yeah.
Cause every time Good Thunder has had a celebration, what does it do?
Yeah,
Rain.
storms usually.
So anyway, that's what I had under, new business. Anything else? Miscellaneous? I have one thing there, when we had our meeting the other night, we found out that there's houses has stuff built on the right of ways. Is there, I just thought of this after that meeting that night, if those individuals would sell their house somewhere along the line. How do the new owners, how are they made aware that some of that property is on the right of way? Shouldn't that be noted? That some of that property is the city right away?
Wouldn't that be covered in the title
Ask the
search
realtor.
between the
Ask the realtor.
sale?
Realtor lady, do you know that?
Unless it's noted somewhere, it would go unknown and then could cause problems in the future. I mean, I think that's what happened next door was some line issues and a garage on a property line and.
Your house?
Yeah, the Dansons had issues with this.
So, I guess they wouldn't know unless there was an actual survey. done.
Yeah, people wouldn't know, and
No, I
then they
mean-
find out later and it caused problems.
Yeah, I mean,
Your house, Tim's and Berg's house are all on the same line. They just tie in and come out to the street. and-
That won't come up in title.
Yeah, that's,
so I mean, how would you or those people would almost have to let them know that they built on a right of way?
Yeah, it would be their responsibility to tell them.
So, I mean, I just thought of that after that meeting that night, if somebody ever went to sell their house and they didn't note it. There's 12 feet, was it 12 feet? That's not legally theirs
12 foot right
under
away.
description.
Well, maybe that's the question for.
Yeah.
Because somehow it has to end up on their title documents. So that like when it is sold and it's researched, then it would show up. You know,
Yeah.
otherwise, like. you
It
say,
doesn't show up though, then there's always
yeah,
problems.
it
I mean,
wouldn't- it
a
wouldn't-
lot of times there's no problems and then there's those once in a while, there is problems.
Yeah.
It can't, I mean, there's no way of really preventing it unless, if we want to make them, right, unless we want to record all of those.
We recorded, that's my question for Chris would be, is that how you do this? Should we, what are the expense, just having it all recorded so that since we have others in town that we don't know about, we might as well try to get the
Yeah.
ones we do. You
So in
know?
another 50 years when it's brought up and we have no record of it again.
Right, but if it's in their type documents,
Yeah.
it's there, at least somebody should have got it.
I think it should be known.
Yeah, I do too. I do too.
Yeah. All right.
So
So you can check that out with Chris.
Yeah.
Yep.
See what you can figure out.
She can have that too.
Anything else under miscellaneous?
You got a conference coming?
Oh, yeah. Oh, the auditors they were here on the 29th. They will be present in the April 8th meeting.
Sounds good.
Yes.
And then a MCFOA conference meeting 19th to the 22nd, City Hall will be closed.
I will be, next Tuesday through Friday, I will not be here. I'll be at that conference.
Okay, and is that St. Cloud or?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
And we are paying,
Everything's taken care of?
Yep, I have to be there because I'm doing the orientation for the new clerks that have never done this before. And that is on Tuesday, so I have to be in St. Cloud at like 8 o'clock Tuesday morning. I'll just let it-
Did you ever get to be a notary yet then?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I was just wondering that. Okay,
Yep,
perfect. All righty, and then the
I've
clerk's,
got a book and I keep, yes, everything's written down.
clerk's PTO request here, I've seen it somewhere. In April, I believe, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yes, 12th to the 19th.
Tom, you're the chairman of personnel, you gonna sign that? Alrighty. We need a motion to allow that for that PTO or no? You just put it forward.
Sign it.
Signs it, wait till. All right. Anything else on anybody?
So I do have a few things. You were questioning the brick house on the end of town. They have sewer hookup only. They do not have water hookup, they have sewer. And that brick,
That's what I thought.
Oh, who responded to you?
I found out. You should look it up, yes. They have the sewer, they pay for sewer, they pay $75 a month for sewer. So
Oh,
they
they
just
do?
pay the base,
Yeah,
so,
Tom, didn't you say one time that you read in our ordinances, if you have sewer, you have to have both
Well, that's
utilities?
my understanding of the ordinance. You remember that, or is it if they have water, they have to have sewer?
I think it's water if they have to have sewer.
Okay, it could be that way.
That
It
to me
could be
makes more
that way.
sense.
I
But
got to thinking.
So there's $75 per month.
per quarter,
Ooh. Our contingency fee on the sewer is what, $45?
whatever it is, yeah, or I don't know. But yeah, they pay, no, wait, yep, $75. They pay the sewer connect fee and the base charge. That's what they pay.
Tom and John, did you guys go over that? Is base charge with that,
So whatever the 70 must be.
with the $45 contingency?
that sounds about right because with water. I basically, just me, I basically just pay the minimum every quarter too. Mine's 186 normally,
Mhm.
so it sounds rough. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just the, I mean, will look quick, but
So
Yeah.
basically it's half of what the base.
because there's no garbage, I'm assuming there.
nope, they don't have garbage service down there. Nope.
So, yeah, that sounds
Yep.
about right.
Okay.
Sewer, yep. So now we've got in our new sewer meter, we're getting our new water meters in. And they're going to go to cubic feet versus, or I mean, they're gonna go to gallons versus cubic feet. So we have to figure out the conversion and it has to be a resolution to change that. I'm working on the resolution right now. I haven't got it completed.
Okay. We have to have a resolution to go from cubic feet to gallon.
Correct, yep.
I did not know that, okay.
I didn't either. I emailed Kennedy.
And at our meeting about the water meters too, Jeff Dale said that he'd be more than willing to come help. He has a lot of experience in that area and he's more than willing to help.
Yeah, I brought it up to Sue the other day and, yeah, I'll,
Because there's one thing that he could do, otherwise it would Banyan would charge us $1,500.
That's what Brad would be. doing.
Yeah, that's what,
Brad's-
yeah, that's what Brad can do. We will have to still probably manually enter everything into Banyan. There is a module that's $500 that you send it to Banyan and they just put it all in, but because we're doing that conversion, we're still gonna have to manually enter everything.
The first time or every time?
The first time,
First time, man.
because we have to set up the conversion.
From cubic feet to gallon.
Correct, so that actually, which, if I did my math right,
Oh, God.
well, because if we have, our base right now is 1225 for 500 cubic feet. Right? Which is 3740 gallons, 3,740 gallons. Which is 0.00, what is it, what did I say?
3 cents per, no, it's
A third of a cent
a third
per
of a cent
gallon.
per gallon.
Yeah.
So then we also have to take our contingency, what is it, the contingency? The connect fee and the base charge of the connect fee, we're gonna have to split that up if we go to monthly billing.
Yep.
So that's just something to think about eventually. We're not doing monthly billing right now.
But we're gonna when the new
We-
meters are here, right?
Not into, we
We-
will, but not right away because of the conversion. It's going to take a little while. This way we'll still do our meter reading in April. Put our new meters in, we'll get, that way we have plenty of time to get the conversion, make sure everything's right.
Okay,
And then
We'll
do
have to-
our other billing in July.
We'll have to set a date that, or you'll have to set a month that we're going to say, this is the month that monthly billing starts.
Yeah, 'cause
We'll probably have to let,
we're gonna have to put out some kind of communication to the residents to let them know we're gonna do that.
and then you may have to give them a grace period or something to,
Or
for a transitionary period or something. to Figure it out.
do we have to hold an open meeting to encourage people to come in and say, yes, they want monthly, or no, they don't, or,
We're going monthly.
we're gonna.
all right,
have to,
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's needed,
Yeah.
but,
I think we need to give the residents a heads up. So I mean,
we have to.
and I
have to
definitely
Notify them.
put something in there in the April billing, because there is a place to put a message if that's what we want to do. But we don't want to do that until we have a date.
How much does it cost you each quarter for postage?
I don't
Cause
know.
it's,
So we'd have to
Wait,
take that times 12 now.
Yep,
Oh, well, nine.
it will kick up the cost of postage, yes, it will.
yep.
By what?
What is, I don't even know what a postage, what a
So,
card stamp is.
yeah, they're a postcard, so it's postcards postage, which
Yep.
is,
Is it like 65 cents?
I think that's around 50 cents, isn't it? I don't know.
I don't know.
But,
No, they don't, I don't know.
and it's, we don't get them metered. You're sitting there peeling on every bill. That's how it's done, so.
Yep. We could take it in there, but then he has to manual do each one. Like, where I used to work, we had our own postage meter and you just ran them through.
Yeah,
I don't think we have enough postage to warrant that,
right.
If we did monthly, maybe,
but I don't know what the fees are for that either. I know it's cheaper if we postmark, but I don't know. I don't think it's gonna pay.
How much time does it take you to put them out, so now that's times 12, well, 9, cause.
Well, it takes, by the time
Doing it.
you pull them apart and you stamp them, maybe an hour, I don't know. It's not like too big of a deal.
Okay,
But also, if we do this, it will save hopefully all those $1,000 bills that don't.
that's right. It'll cut down on the
So-
ones that the bills aren't getting on time.
Correct.
And with all this here. All this that we've done here with this water now. Do we have a new policy that, we are gonna bill you monthly? But if it is not paid by the third week of that month. Do we have to put some rules in here?
Like,
Otherwise, some
We've got
people,
an ordinance regarding that.
Yeah,
but not for monthly or
Yeah, well-
quarterly.
well,
We'll have to look at that. And if we do need to change the ordinance, I'm not sure. I don't know if it says. I don't know. I'd have to review
I'd
it.
have to look for.
I can already see this. Well, I'm just used to paying it every quarter, so I'm just not gonna pay it until the quarter.
that's. what I was
Everybody
saying,
I've
Yeah,
Talked to has said. We're the only town that they've ever lived in that's done quarterly. Every place else they've ever lived is monthly. I haven't heard anything negative about going to monthly,
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't either.
so.
you may have to give them like a
That's,
month or two grace period.
Yeah.
Just so people can
Get 'em
use the
Paying monthly.
paying monthly.
Nevertheless, that's why we're not burning a monthly
There's a
rate.
lot to do for that
Bill,
first,
I
so
mean-
let's, yeah.
Nobody makes the pickups, but
Yep.
It'll be the same individuals that don't do it
Oh,
quarterly.
that's not
That'll
gonna.
be
It's not gonna.
Okay.
Pay in advance.
it. That's yours, Tom, I think. All right, have we covered everything then?
I have another question. On the east side of Holiday by the Red Iron. Is it that sidewalk? Is there possible to do a no parking on that side, on the Red Iron side of that street? Because if you've got cars on both sides, it makes it pretty narrow. You know what I'm talking about, right? Right down here?
Oh, down there.
Along yours, along,
Yeah,
yeah. Along the Red Iron side of that.
you look at,
the only time I've ever seen is people park is when the one residents park during snow to get the snow removed and otherwise.
There's other streets when you run it, I mean, you run into that problem like once in a while, but
there's a couple times it happened last winter. I remember it being there going down the plow.
Yeah,
Well, it could be like that in the summer though, because I've gone through there, well, like we're pulling our camper and stuff, and it's like there's cars right on each side of it, and it gets a little.
Or you do it like how. Like Mankato has like seasonal no parking this side of the road, so when they plow, they can plow everything on that side and then they send you a notification saying it's a snow emergency and then they have to move you move to the other side for 24 hours so they can do the other side.
yeah, I
It's
can
just something to
see
throw out there.
the residents that's on the corner of this street, if they had people over and you parked on both sides, yeah, it would be very narrow. Think about it for a month.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, anybody? Not to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Someone second,
A second,
all in favor? I oppose, motion carried. Thanks, everybody.